Welcome guys. So let's see about animation, types of animation and principle of animation. Animation is a process of designing, drawing, making layouts and preparation of photographic sequences which are integrated in the multimedia and gaming products. Animation involves exploitation and management of still images to generate the illusion of movement. A person who creates animations is called as animator. He or she uses various computer technologies to capture the still images and then to animate these in desired sequence. Animation is used to create models that are essential for research and study. It allows you to create 3D realistic models that allow diagrams, etc. to show accurate representations of an object. The basic idea behind animation is to play back the recorded images at the rates fast enough to fool the human eye into interpreting them as continuous motion. Animation can make a series of dead images come alive. It can be used in many areas like entertainment, computer-aided design, scientific visualization, training, education, e-commerce and computer art. There are 5 various types of animation. They are traditional animation, which is also referred as cell animation or hand-drawn animation, stop motion animation, which is also referred as clay motion or cutouts animation, motion graphics, which is also known as typography or animated logo, 2D animation and 3D animation. Traditional animation. In the old days, animators drew characters frame by frame and then those drawings were transferred onto clear acetate sheets called cells for painting. That's where the term cell animation comes from. Hand-drawn animation could be done entirely analog or entirely digital or some mix of two. The important thing is that hand-drawn animators still create their animation frame by frame using the same techniques and principles as in those old days of papers and cells. Stop motion animation. Stop motion has several variants, but they all involve manipulating real world objects. These objects are moved slightly and photographed one frame at a time. When shown in sequence, these frames create the illusions of movement. In clay motion, the characters which are used are generally made out of a substance called plasticine, which is not an actual clay. In paper cutout animation, characters are built out of paper shapes. They might be pinned together at the joints to make a posable figure, or pieces might be set in the place so that they can be swapped out. They are often moved and photographed frame by frame, just like a stop motion puppet. Motion graphics focuses on making a dynamic and interesting presentation of moving text logos and basic illustrations. The process of creating motion graphics depends on the programs used, since video editing softwares often have different user interface or settings. Motion graphics usually involves animating images, texts, or video clippings using keyframing that are tweened to make a smooth motion between frames. 2D animation figures are created or edited on the computer using 2D bitmap graphics and 2D vector graphics. This includes automated computerized versions of traditional animation techniques, interpolated morphing, onion skinning, and interpolated rotoscoping. 2D animation has many applications including analog computer animation, flash animation, and PowerPoint animation. Cinemagraphs are still photographs in the form of an animated GIF file of which part is animated. 3D animation. 3D is also referred as CGI, computer generated imagery. This is the most popular type of animation for feature films currently, and it has become common in TV and short films as well. This is also the same type of animation used to create digital characters for live action films and animation for video games. Characters in 3D animation are digitally modeled in the program and then fitted with a skeleton that allows animators to move the models. Animation is done by posting the models on certain keyframes, after which the computer will calculate and perform an interpolation between those frames to create movement. There are 12 principles used for animation, which are squash and stretch. The squash and stretch principle provides the illusion of weight and volume to a personality as they move. Anticipation. Anticipation is used to realize the audience to know that the major action is about to take place. Staging. According to this principle, every pose or action of the character that he makes should convey a clear intention. Straight ahead and pose to pose. According to this principle, which refers to the techniques by which animation is crafted, follow through and overlapping action. According to this principle, when a character is in action and stops, nothing stops all at once. Slow in and slow out. According to this principle, it adds realism to the movement of characters. Arc. According to this principle, all actions in life have a slightly circular motion. Secondary action. According to this principle, an additional action that reinforces and adds more dimension to the main action. Timing. According to this principle, the timing helps create the illusion that an action is abiding by the law of physics. Exaggeration is all about overstating certain movements in the way that helps evoke a point yet does not ruin the believability of the scene. Solid drawings. According to this principle, it encourages animators to be mindful of the fact that while forms may be presented in 2D, they should strive to look like 3D. Appeal. According to this principle, not all characters should be appealing, but as per the principle, posits that animators should strive to create images that will be interesting and compelling to audiences. So that's the end of this video. I think this video might be helpful. Thank you.